Welcome back to the WL Costa Properties YouTube channel and the Costa Property podcast. We're delighted to have you here with us today. Today we're going to be talking about Benalmádena. Benalmádena used to be quite underrated on the Costa del Sol, not always people's first choice when it came to choosing locations. But now in 2026, it's where savvy buyers and families are investing and relocating to. Actually, they're flocking here. And in this episode, we're breaking down the differences with Marbella and other towns along the Costa del Sol, why buyers are choosing Benalmádena, and why we did the same nearly 10 years ago. Werner, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good to be here. How are you doing today?
Fantastic.
You look cold.
Yeah, I'm cold.
Winter is a little bit chilly on the coast. Right, so let's go back a bit. So we've been here now 9 years, coming close to our 10th year along the Costa del Sol, nearly a decade. Can you believe how quickly time flies? Now, we chose Benalmádena all of those years ago back then, but how does it compare to what we're seeing now? I guess we chose it back then. People are still choosing it now. What I want to dive into today is why people are choosing it and why it's becoming more popular now than it maybe did back when we were choosing our location along the coast, right? Are you up for the challenge?
I'm up for the challenge, yeah.
So often it's a location that's under the radar. Fewer people talk about it. We often hear about Marbella, Estepona, lately Soto Grande, other locations further along the coastline. And often towns like Benalmádena, where we choose to live, or locations next to ours like Torremolinos, Fuengirola, they're not often as high on people's radar, particularly when they first look at the Costa del Sol as a location. Sometimes they have to be introduced to it as a location, maybe sold the advantages, but once they're sold, they're hooked, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I'm biased. Benalmádena has it all, and for young people, for families, for couples, I think it has everything that you really need.
You chose it back then as the base to build your life, to start again, to build the next chapter of your life nearly 10 years ago now. In 2026, we celebrate a decade on the coast. You chose it back then. Would you choose it again now?
1,000,000%. Mm-hmm. I just think for the location, the cosmopolitan people that's came in the last 10 years, the facilities for our kids, the restaurants, bars, culture, like we love Benalmadena Pueblo and we love the Puerto Marina. It has everything that we need as a family.
Yeah, and it's important that for me that people understand that it's not just a holiday base. It is a fantastic location that offers everything. Should you choose to just have an investment property here to enjoy some time in the sunshine and enjoy the Mediterranean lifestyle, or should you choose to relocate here and experience a different type of life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good for, investment properties because you have all year round tourism. Second homeowners because everything's on the doorstep. People that's relocating, there's something for everybody. Mm-hmm. And people that families they love to come here. So
yeah, many advantages in terms of location to the airport, being located on the train line, walking distance to the beach from the train station, multiple different neighbourhoods and areas. So it is possible to achieve whatever type of life that you're looking for in one town, which is quite remarkable. And I think that when people understand that, they really start to look at Benalmádena differently as a location. That's just my personal opinion. But, Marbella always hits the headlines for obvious reasons. Of course, it's beautiful there. It offers so much. But when we are introduced to our clients who have a dream of finding a location that's right for them along the Costa del Sol, it's fair to say that often they are drawn to the allure of towns closer to Marbella or in Marbella postcodes. But when we start to introduce Benalmádena, what it has to offer, when we share more about what it has to offer and maybe match it to their expectations, they realise that it might actually be a better fit for them, right? We've had so many of these experiences over the last number of years where that has actually been the case.
Yeah, we have so many people that, you know, yes, Marbella's on everybody's lips and everything else, but when they actually go and visit Marbella, they find out it wasn't for me for whatever reason it was, you know, whether it would be location to the airport is an hour away, or property prices are too expensive, or they felt that they didn't fit in.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
With the crowds, and they just didn't like the vibe about it.
Totally. Because often the misconception is that Benalmadena was maybe a town that they holidayed in 20 years ago, and they only saw maybe one part, which is the coastline and the strip there, and they felt like it's not really a place that I could live in all year round. Or even it's not actually even on their radar at all, because the TV shows, the holiday blogs, the talk is more directed towards a Marbella postcode. So, you know, often we're introducing them to new territory or busting some myths, old myths, outdated myths that they may have connected to Benalmadena and what it actually has to offer. But once we go through budget, medical facilities, location to the airport, the different neighbourhoods, kids, schools, clubs for retirement if you're in that stage of your life, you know, whether you want to rent or buy, or whatever your investment goal is for your property, it's like the cogs of the wheel start to turn.
Yeah, no, it does, and I've not got that much experience about Marbella, you know, but like what we have in Benalmadena, it's for everyone, you know. You hear our clients, there's just so much for them to do.
Yeah.
They want to bring their family here. They want to, you know, go to the marina. You know, they want to walk the boardwalk to Torremolinos. Everything is walkable distance as well.
Yeah.
Which I think is so important. From the top to Benalmadena Pueblo to the coast, you're talking, if the traffic's good, you're talking 12 minutes.
Yeah, and even if you want to taxi it or Uber it because you want to have a night out in the Pueblo and experience one of the beautiful restaurants there, and you live in a postcode along the coast, you know, as you say, you're talking 10 minutes in a car, you're probably 10, 12 euro in an Uber, tops, in a taxi, tops. You know, you have the ability to explore other areas in really conveniently.
Yeah, no, you do, you do.
But I find this an interesting topic to talk about, because when we, you know, there's different types of clients that we work with. You know, there's the ones who relocate over here permanently, either they want to retire here, or they're coming with a family, or they're coming alone to live their new life here, or they're buying an investment property here that they want to holiday here at certain times of the year. Family and friends are able to avail of that. When we actually deep dive into what they want and what they want to achieve from their goals with their property in the Costa del Sol, it's very, very rare that Benalmadena is not going to support them to achieve those goals. It's very rare that we find that situation, unless somebody comes with a very, very pigeonholed idea of a specific location that they want that isn't in Benalmadena. It's very rare that we can't support them to find what they want in this location.
Yeah, like in our Benalmadena guides, you know, we went from where the office is to a 200,000, you know, apartment to Capanilla, where you can buy a 10 million villa.
Yes.
From that kind of how big Benalmadena is, that's extraordinary.
Yes.
You can go from one area to the next area and see a vast difference.
So your budget will kind of get you whatever
you want.
Yeah, it really has the ability to kind of satisfy every budget type.
Yeah.
And every lifestyle goal.
Yeah.
I think that's important. And again, you know, it's back to that thing. It's very rare we cannot find what they need in Benalmadena, whether it's luxury, whether it's new build, whether it's just lock up and leave.
Yeah.
It's all available within the different neighbourhoods here. So I think that's amazing. Now, for people who haven't watched it yet, we do have an incredible video where we walk through Benalmadena and all of the areas. We're out and about in the car, driving through the different neighbourhoods and talking about what they have to offer. I think it's a great video to watch to understand what Benalmadena is all about, what neighbourhoods you have here, what type of housing you find in those different neighbourhoods, and what you can get for your money. So I will link the video in the description below and really recommend that if you haven't watched it yet, that you do absolutely check it out. But Warner, you know, even though we've got our area guides and our videos where people can actually explore the areas of Benalmadena for the comfort of their home, I'd like you to really capture the essence of what it's actually like to live here and maybe what you can expect from the different areas if you do live here.
Okay, so in Benalmadena you have three areas. You have Benalmadena Costa, where you have the beautiful Puerto Marina. You know, you've got all the apartments in the marina there, surrounded right close to the beach. So if you wanted to have that experience, be close to the beach, have beautiful views, then that is a great area to buy. Arroyo, where the office is, you know, it's full of wine bars, tapas bars, traditional, you know, Spanish restaurants. So if you wanted to kind of get involved with more cultural, then Arroyo is...
That's the town really, isn't it?
Town.
Like the train station is there, banks, clinics. Really, it's a town centre where you can sit and people watch, but also do all your odd jobs and, you know, do whatever you need to do.
Exactly.
So there's always a little busy vibe.
It's always happening.
Yeah.
Benalmadena's all year round, so you know, you're seeing people all the time. You know, you're always having fiestas and parties, and you know, it's just a vibrant little town, and people love it. As to say, you sit there, people watch, have a glass of wine, and eat beautiful tapas. Then you have Benalmadena Pueblo, your favourite area. That's got beautiful restaurants. A lot of people love going up there because you're going away from the coast and you're just going and seeing traditional Spain, going through the little cobbled streets, and the views from properties in Benalmadena Pueblo are outstanding.
Yeah.
So if you just wanted away from it,
A bit of culture.
And beautiful views, then
Beautiful restaurants.
beautiful restaurants as well.
And beautiful properties, let's
beautiful
be honest.
properties as well.
Yeah.
And then if you really wanted that ultra modern, you know, the new style of apartment, go to El Higuerón. Because El Higuerón is basically development after development of beautiful luxury apartments with stunning views.
What I'm hearing from you as you kind of dive into the essence of these neighbourhoods is that there's a strong all year round vibe in these neighbourhoods. So you have people that are living here all year round, working here, people that have grown up here, made it their life, as well as people that choose to come here on holidays, which is great. It's a real like cultural melting pot. So, you know, even when it's out of season, you still have fantastic things to do, especially just reflecting coming out of the Christmas period here, which is so traditional, so cultured. If you're not from here and you're experiencing that from the first time, it's a real privilege to see it. So it feels like a proper community. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. It's not just a tourist area.
And the locals are used to having tourists on their doorstep. You know, they welcome tourists for their businesses and everything else. And they help them with the language to make sure that they feel at home. You know, there's been a lot of bad press with the Spanish people not welcoming tourism, but here in Benalmadena, they love them.
Okay, so let's talk about right now 2026, because, you know, this is what people are always asking us at the moment. We were asked this again yesterday. Are we too late? Okay, in terms of demand and prices, have we missed the boat? Is it still possible for us to purchase our property? You know, where are we seeing demand come from right now?
So the answer is no, they haven't missed the boat, because everywhere in the world property prices have increased, you know, and the good thing about there is, you know, the Costa del Sol is still affordable compared to other destinations, and there's areas for every budget.
Okay.
So no matter how much you have, you will find something here in the Costa del Sol.
Yeah, but it is fair to say over the last 8 years, property prices have gone up and up and up and up. So what you might have been able to afford 3 or 4 years ago, if you had like a 2 bedroom, it mightn't be possible for you to afford that now unless you're prepared to compromise, right? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's
I don't want to
fair.
burst people's bubbles, but I think we have to be correct with expectation management. If you're coming now with the same budget and expectation that you had 3 or 4 years ago, you might have to drop some things from your expectations to be able to get what you want here.
Yeah, you really have to drop your expectations. From the past, the Costa del Sol was known a cheap area. We could go there and we could buy a property there, but those days are gone.
Yeah.
So it's really important that the why they're buying. So if they're looking to buy, a property here, then the expectations, they will know. They're looking at property portals, they're watching Place in the Sun, out of date ones, but it gives you a benchmark that people are not stupid. They know the property prices are going up around the world, so why would the Costa del Sol stand still?
But often people come and they're like, well, I'm going to wait it out because what I want will come up. What would you say to that?
No, don't wait. Because with the infrastructure coming in, with the new airport and everything else in the next 5 to 10 years, that's the time where the property prices could go above their budget. So, as I always say, if you like something and you can afford it, buy it.
Go for it. Yeah, because they don't show any indications of reducing. And I think it's important that people understand that. But you need to make sure that your budget's realistic for what you want. You need to be prepared to listen.
Yeah, you do need to be prepared to listen, and you have to be prepared to, sacrifice what you think you could have got 5 years for something that is now.
Good properties don't sit around, and if you had a budget 2 or 3 years ago and you're coming with that same budget today and the same list of expectations, you're not going to get what you want. That's very important. And we'll have that conversation with you up front, because if we're not prepared to have that discussion up front, we're not probably fit to work together, right?
Yeah, look, time is money, and if we don't have those discussions up front, then, you're just wasting your time.
We're always asked about the train line. Benalmádena being on the train line, so close to the airport, so close to the beautiful Malaga City. How big of an advantage do you feel that is for people when they choose to purchase in Benalmádena?
I think it's massive, absolutely massive to have that train line, because it's just, it gives the people the opportunity not to have a car.
And it opens it up to the world, because, right, okay, you can get quite easily into Malaga City, but then your options, they're endless from there in terms of, where do you want to go next? Do you want to go to Madrid? Do you want to go to Cordoba? You can really tour around and get out and explore, which is such an advantage. I actually don't think people realise how advantageous the train line is until they actually get here and start to utilise it.
Yeah, and exactly what you said, that takes you to Maria Zambrano, then you can dream. You can be in Seville in 2 hours, you can be in Madrid in 4 hours. So you could wake up 10 o'clock in the Costa del Sol and be in Madrid by the afternoon.
You don't need to have a car here if you don't want to, because you get from the airport to Arroyo de la Miel, and then you can decide to maybe take a cab to your apartment or walk it if you're in a central location. So your options are great.
It's probably better not to have a car.
Yeah. Well, in summertime, you could argue that. So I think that's a massive advantage, and especially as well if you're planning on coming over and buying for investment and your family's going to come over in the summertime, you want them to have a semblance of independence and freedom. And when they have access to that train line, you're probably not entertaining them as much because they have the freedom to decide what they're going to do. If you're in a more remote location, and that's great, you might be up in the hills, you might have beautiful views with the goats, but you're not going to have that ability to choose in the same way as you do in a location like Benalmadena, for example. And Marbella doesn't have the train line because you're not on that main train line route. that train ends in Fuengirola.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked about this then over the last, 8 to 9 years, the price trajectory in Benalmadena. We've seen that change a lot. Talk to us about, what did that look like in 2016 when we relocated versus what it looks like now?
I can remember because we came in 2016 and Spain was just coming out of the credit crunch. WL Costa Properties, before we sold the first property 2017. And I can remember that vaguely because I have a laugh with the person that bought it. And I always go back to him every year and I say, do you want to sell your apartment now? And from what he bought it for to what it would sell today.
So what did he buy?
He bought a 1-bedroom apartment for 75,000 euros.
And where was the location?
The Gaminal area.
So
here.
Benalmadena Costa postcode, walking distance to the train station, walking distance to the beach, 1-bedroom.
75,000 euros.
Right, and what would you value that same property at today?
215,000 euros.
Wow. So that just shows you the price trajectory over the last 8 years. And the same concept applies to villas, townhouses, 2-bedroom apartments, new builds. The prices have steadily increased over the last number of years. Wow. That just shows you, the demand in the market.
The demand in the market, and it shows you that there's not enough properties for demand and not for enough supply for demand as well. So, if you can afford it and you like it, then now's the time.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
The time to buy. So, we've been really clear that, Benalmadena makes so much sense for everyone, especially for the people working with us. They always come to that conclusion that as a location, it makes sense. And it really is a location that's a smart fit for everybody, right? So again, relocating families who need access to parks, playgrounds, beach, facilities, water sports, you name it. They need access to schools, everyday services, healthcare. It's for them. It's also for people that plan to, retire over here, lifestyle investors that really want to experience that Mediterranean lifestyle on the Costa del Sol. It's great for first-time international buyers because it's a safe investment.
Yeah.
So even if you come here and you really get to grips with the Costa del Sol, you're never going to have an issue selling your property in Benalmadena because there's always strong demand. It is a safe investment that really allows you to get to grips with life here. And then, okay, if you decide to venture out further down the line, that's totally fine too. But it's also very good for remote workers and professionals because they often want to be close to the airport. You can do an airport commute here within 30 minutes on the train. And also, there's very good co-working facilities here that allow people to work remotely but also still have a community feel if they are working remotely and don't have that ability to go into an office every day and mix with a team. So there's a lot happening. So again, it does offer something for everybody. Anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I think we've covered everything with that, So if you're looking to buy, then check out Benalmadena first.
So for anybody listening or watching and thinking, okay, I actually need to see Benalmadena properly now. I really need to understand what it has to offer. Where would you send them next, Warner?
Well, if they're in their home country, the first thing to do is go into our YouTube channel, look at all the videos that we've done and listen to the Costa Property podcast. Get familiarised with, obviously, us as a real estate agent and then book your flight and come over and see us.
But on the YouTube channel, we've spent quite a lot of time going into detail around Benalmadena and really taking you behind the scenes of the neighbourhood. So I would definitely suggest you have a look there and see, does this appeal to me? Is this an area that I like? I think that's a great place to start, right?
Yeah, we've done all the work for you. So use the facilities that we have.
Yeah, use the resources that we have, especially those videos, because they give you a good visual awareness of why Benalmadena might be an option for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Amazing. So before I wrap up, I want to talk to the person who is out there and has potentially been thinking about 2026 being the year that they actually invest along the Costa del Sol. Benalmádena may be an option for you. If it is, head over to our website, explore this a little bit more, www.wlcostaproperties.net. Go directly to the resources section. Go and download our free buyer's guide, because this is a great place to start in terms of getting your ducks in a row and helping you understand what your next move could possibly be. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you. Bye for now.